everybody, welcome to another video of Game of Thrones Academy. Hi Itamar.
Hello.
As usual, we're going to look at A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones through the lens of history, real politics, to learn something new about the story and hopefully learn a little bit of history along the way. And stay tuned for a surprising bold prediction of this video, the subject, which is Robert of House Baratheon. So who is Robert? Talk a little bit about Robert.
Robert, first of his name. Robert is the king, the first king of the story.
Mm-hmm.
We encounter him in a much later part.
And his rule.
In his rule. He won the rebellion. He started a rebellion basically because he didn't get laid with with one of the girls that he wanted, and
it's a little bit more complicated than that. No,
I don't think so. Really, I don't think so.
No, but
I think
the Mad King burned the Starks.
Okay, yeah. Minor details.
Details. Okay.
He's a very proud person,
and he's
a fighter, not a lover. A proud alpha male, man of action.
The best warrior in the kingdom.
Adrenaline junkie, you can say. A natural born soldier. He likes to fight. He likes battles. He likes women. Yeah.
But then when he comes back from war, as happens to many war veterans, maybe he's not doing very well in civilian life.
Yeah, you can say he suffers from a PTSD condition that really
he's depressed.
He's depressed and he feels like empty empty inside, and so he fills his emptiness with booze and cheap women. The biggest part of his life that he really felt alive was during battle.
And a specific battle.
Always retelling.
In the Battle of the Trident, where he's such a heroic figure in this battle, this iconic battle where he fights Rhaegar in the Trident and kills Rhaegar and wins the war. This is not very George R.R. Martin-like to have this battle where the leader of one side and the leader of the other side, they meet face to face. No strategy, no politics, just fight to the death. That's very fantasy-like.
Very fantasy-like. Yeah. Baratheons are like they were upstarts. They were upstarted by Aegon,
the Conqueror.
The Conqueror, Aegon the First, that made the house from a minor house to a big house.
Okay.
And Baratheon he is part of the Targaryen line. Somehow like a cousin of the bastard, grocery shop keeper who knew the uncle of the daughter of the dragons. Yeah, so this is how he became a king, and he ruled. He ruled. Yeah, he ruled. He was, you can say, more of a ceremonial role that kept the kingdom together, because he was like the aggregate of all of the strifes between the houses. They could have agreed upon Roberts. He was the friends of the Starks, friends of the Aryans, friends of the Tullys, and he married into the Lannisters. He was the source of the stability in the kingdom. When he died, they fell back to a civil war.
And when we start the story, when we learn about Robert, he's portrayed as the hero who saved the realm from the Mad King, and he was good for the realm. But then as the story goes on, and we learn more about Rhaegar and Rhaegar's plans, then we say, oh my God, if only Rhaegar would have killed Robert in the Battle of the Trident, it would have been better for Westeros.
He was a bad king, basically.
Absent king.
An absent king, and that's not good for the realm because it creates a vacuum of power that can be filled by people like Varys and Littlefinger, which doesn't necessarily hold the kingdom's best interest.
And he made a terrible decision by appointing Ned Stark, of all people, to the hand of the king, a position that he has no skills at all, because he was his friend. That's like you're my buddy, my war buddy. Yeah. But that's not a decision, good policy.
And this warrior king still lives his famous battles, died in the most trivial and banal way, killed by a boar.
By a boar.
During hunting, after being like a drunk as fool. So it's like
dun, 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 dun. This great warrior. Okay. Is there an historical person that you see maybe inspired Robert?
I almost sure you can find a better comparison, but the thing that came in my mind is Henry VIII. He was fat, he liked women, and liked to get drunk, and liked hunting. He wasn't a warrior. He was also had a very feminine side, like this sensitive side. He was a poet and a scholar.
Doesn't he remind you maybe of like a Viking lord or something, like who inspires, I don't know, the love of all the other warriors and soldiers, and he's only
like a
good
warlord.
at pillaging, like a warlord.
Yeah, if you look at him as a warlord, so you can say maybe Robert wasn't born on the right period in history period, because if he was ruling this chiefdom instead of kingdom, basically all you need is to be the alpha male, the strongest person.
Right. It's not
no politics, and not this
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Yeah.
He was bad at the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
May God have mercy on his soul. Do you have any more examples maybe in history for this like warrior king?
In terms of appearance, I always thought about Henry VIII. In terms of like his style as a character, is more similar, I think, to Richard Lionheart, Richard the First.
Who is that?
A king in England, which was 99% of his time as king was in battles, always fighting. Ooh. The Crusades. He was in the third crusade or second crusade, I can't remember which. Tried to liberate Jerusalem, and then he was here, and then he was captured on his way back, and then died from an arrow or something to the shoulder.
He is a warrior king.
A warrior king, which almost never really ruled. He didn't even speak English. He was French. He was from the French branch. Richard. So if you see Richard in movies like Robin Hood, like this hero that came back from the Crusades, and this Sean Connery figure, he was basically more like Gerard Depardieu, maybe.
Okay, so this is a great setup for this video's bold prediction, incredible prediction about Robert Baratheon. What the hell could be that prediction? So, are you ready? Drum roll. What do you think will happen to Robert Baratheon in the remaining part of the story?
In a sentence?
In a sentence.
He will stay dead.
He will stay dead?
He will stay dead, yeah.
Okay, I agree. So if you think that Robert Baratheon will come back to life, maybe as a zombie or something, or a white, how do you call it? White. As a white, comment below, and if you enjoyed the video, like and click subscribe to get our next videos, and we'll see you next time, everybody. Bye bye.